heard about all the wonderful plans that our esteemed legislators have in store for us. But for the last 40 years, I have been in the trenches, and I am still on a waiting list. My story begins 42 years ago when Mark was born. The doctors told me when he was 5 months old he was going to need brain surgery because there were growths and lesions that needed to come out. This was a dinosaur year of brain surgery. They didn't have CAT scans in 1968. They didn't have MRIs. And so they cut open his head, they explored, they took out the offending lesions, and then they said to me, well, we really don't think he'll ever be able to be a productive person in the community. He may never even get out of bed. Well, the last 42 years have proved them wrong. We have been lucky. When Mark was ready for school, Public Law 142 was passed, so he could go to his local public school. He could thrive, he could succeed, and he could graduate from his local public school. He was then in a program for work at DePaul Hospital in St. Louis County. And this year, he is celebrating 30,000 hours of work. He volunteers in the community. He's very tall, as you see, and basketball comes easy, even if he's only able to shoot with his right hand. So he volunteers with some kindergartners. And when the St. Louis Post-Dispatch profiled him and his volunteerism in spite of his disability, the United Way got 70 phone calls the day that article appeared from people in the community who were disabled but didn't think they could volunteer and wanted to give back to the community. And so our community is better for those people who called the United Way that day. But things don't always go as planned. Mark was living independently. He had a support aide for 9 hours a week. They did their grocery shopping and their meal planning and home safety and went out into the community for leisure activities because Mark is a big fan of St. Louis Cardinal baseball. And country music. But Mark had an accident about 1.5 years ago. It was a power failure, and he fell down a flight of steps, and he suffered another traumatic brain injury, which left him with some other deficits in vision and balance, and so he needed to move in with his mother and father while he recovered from that accident. And it was during that time that his supports were taken away because there was no funding for him while he lived back in our home to recover, which meant all those years of growth, no one was supporting him to grow, go back into the community. And he's on a waiting list with the other 5,000 people in Missouri. And so what we come here to ask you